Good morning, children. It's so nice to be with you again today. I miss you. Have you been doing well at home? Have you been playing and listening to your family? I know. We all are looking forward to when we can be together again. Well, today, before we start our story, I wanted to take you out to see our garden and how it's doing here at my house. So we always take a look at my rocks. My goodness, they just seem to stay the same size, but they're still very large. And here is the garden. My goodness, look at how big the pepper grew since the last time we visited. And our squash is getting very big too. I wanted to move some of the leaves today to show you that underneath where the flowers were, you can begin to see a baby squash starting to grow. Let me see if I can move this leaf. You can just barely see it. The next time we visit, I bet it will be bigger and you'll be able to see it better. There's the tomato. And I told you we were going to give our potato extra water, and it's starting to feel better. There's less brown on the leaves and the stems are very strong. So the garden is doing well, and our ironwood tree is bigger, and you'll see that up in the top of the ironwood tree, right up there, can you see it? That's a bird's nest. It's for a tiny little bird with a yellow face called a verdin, and he and his partner are raising a nest of baby birds up there. I'll see if I can get a little bit better picture of it for you. We'll walk around this way. Oh, that's a much better picture. Can you see it now? Right up here? That very little brown space? That's where Mr. and Mrs. Verdin live and where they are raising their babies. Kind of a messy nest, isn't it? How are the plants at your house doing? Ours have to get a lot of water right now because it's very warm. I hope you're drinking a lot of water because it's very warm too. And just like plants, all of us need to stay hydrated and cool when it gets very hot. I want to show you something kind of special today. Look at what's happening over at the water fountain. Who do you see coming to get a drink? Because it's very hot here. All of the bees from up in our desert are coming down to get a drink of water on our water fountain. It makes me think of when you all are finished with recess and everybody comes in and lines up to get a drink of water. Look at that. They are all just drinking water and getting ready for their busy, busy day. Because where their real job is up here in the mesquite tree. Do you see the mesquite flowers? And do you see all of the bees coming in to collect the nectar? Most of them are coming down to the fountain, and then they go back up in the tree and they collect the nectar and leave the pollen behind so that the mesquite tree will make mesquite beans. And in our neighborhood, and I think probably neighborhood, almost all of the little animals and birds love the mesquite beans. Everybody comes. The pack rats come, the mice come, all of the birds come. Everybody loves mesquite beans. So as our mesquite tree makes more flowers and the bees pollinate the flowers, the tree will make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mesquite beans that all of the animals will enjoy. A long time ago, and even today, many families enjoy taking the mesquite beans and grinding them up and making flour. And that flour can be used to make all different kinds of food, including bread, which is very good, and one of my favorites, mesquite bean cookies. We'll have to talk about that and see if we can find some recipes. You might ask your family, do we have any recipes in our family that uses mesquite flour? I'll bet some of you will have family members that know how to do that. Well, today, our story is going to be about bees. I know. I enjoy the bees so much. Now, you have to be careful. You don't ever want to be stung, so you shouldn't bother them. But they're awfully enjoyable to watch. You can learn a lot watching the bees. We watch them line up to get their water. We watch them pollinating the mesquite bean flowers. And now we're going to learn a little bit more about what bees do. All right, here today. Our story today is called Bee, a Peek Through Picture Book by Britta Teckentrup. Isn't that an interesting name? Teckentrup. And it's all about bees. When we get back to school, you may want to borrow this book from my office. It is so much fun because it's got cutouts. So when she wrote her story, each page opens up and has a cutout where you can see the bee. Won't that be fun? All right, let's read our story. Bee, a Peek Through Picture Book by Britta Teckentrup. Here's the first picture. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A field of beautiful flowers. Maybe they're daisies. It's interesting. This story is going to take place in a place with a lot of green fields. But we have bees, too, that love our area here in the desert. Bee, a Peek Through Picture Book, illustrated by Britta Teckentrup. See the hole in the middle? It's the same shape as a cell in a beehive. Dawn is breaking on a brand new day. And in the meadow, poppies sway. A bee appears, striped black and gold. A wonder of nature is about to unfold. Do you see the bee? That does look like our desert bees, doesn't it? Our desert bees that we saw drinking at the fountain were that same color. And again, even though we don't live in an area with a green meadow, we have a beautiful desert that is full of plants that the bees love as well, especially our mesquite trees. What do you think this amazing thing could be that's about to unfold? I wonder. In the treetops, birds start to sing, and a little bee beats her wings. There she is. She's beating her wings right there. As she travels, here and there, a gentle humming fills the air. Look at the other animals in the picture. I wonder what they're thinking about that little bee. Here's a squirrel, and I think that's a ladybug right there. They love gardens too. Back and forth, to and fro. Bee knows exactly where to go. So she's going to and fro, back and forth, visiting flowers of every hue. She has a special job to do. I wonder what her special job is. What do you think it could be? Let's see. Sorry, Mrs. Franklin lost the page there. Look at this. There's the bee. What's all that yellow? What do you suppose that could be? Here she goes, to and fro, and everywhere she goes. What is that beautiful shiny yellow? Gathering nectar. Oh, that's what she's doing. As she goes from every foxglove, every rose, dusty with pollen. Oh, this is the pollen. There we go. The little bee buzzes busily. So she's drinking the nectar, but she's carrying the pollen. Can you say pollen? That's what I always think my little bird friend looks like. It looks like he stuck his face in the pollen. Bee travels on from bloom to bloom, drawn in by their sweet perfume, harvesting flowers one by one. Her compass is the midday sun, so she's knowing where to go using the sunshine. Or actually, better still, where the sun is in the sky. She uses it like a compass. I think some of us do that sometimes too. Among the orchard's apple trees, blossoms quiver in the breeze. Carrying pollen from place to place, bee always leaves a tiny trace. If you went out to the farms at Gila River Farms this year, we saw where the bees can help us pollinate the orange trees too. Flowers as far as the eye can see. Too many flowers for just one bee. All of a sudden, bee is gone. She has a message to pass on. How can a bee pass on a message? Oh, I wonder what she's going to do next. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's not just one bee. That's a lot of bees. Oh my goodness. Back to the hive. Ah, this is a hive of bees. That's where all of the bees live. Back to the hive, bee spreads the news. There's work to be done. No time to lose. Listen for their gentle humming. The word is out. The bees are coming. This is how my mesquite tree sounds right now. You can still almost hear it. Buzzing over the dense hedge rows, past the pond where the wild thyme grows. Oh, look at all the bees. There's like bunches of bees, and they're all flying. Through the orchard's sweet-smelling scent, the bees travel on with calm intent. As lilies glow orange in the sun, the bees must finish what they've done. Stopping at every flower they find, leaving the gift of pollen behind. So they're carrying that orange pollen. See, she's got some right there. They all have some, and they go from flower to flower. And that helps the flowers to make seeds. The bees pass over. Oh my gosh, look at all these bees. The bees pass over a woodland stream. Droplets sparkle and pebbles gleam. Water trickles, bubbles, and weaves. A weeping willow trails its leaves. Oh, look at all the bees. I bet they like the water like the bees that like my water at the water fountain. As the bees fly through buds and burrs, a tiny miracle occurs. So many plants and flowers you see were given life by just one small bee. Look at all the animals hidden in our picture. There's a hedgehog, and I saw a duck. Oh, look, there's the mother duck, and there's her babies down in the reeds. They like the flowers as well, and here's a thrush, and maybe a fox. There's the thrush and a fox. And here's another fox over here. And just like our meadow, our beautiful desert has many animals that live from the flowers and plants that the bees help to create. Because the pollen helps the flowers to make seeds, and the seeds make more plants. Boy, isn't that great? So many plants and flowers you see were given life by one small bee. Oh my goodness, and look at all of these plants in their meadow. Today, I think it would be fun if you might look around outside by your house and see how many plants have flowers. Because probably if the plant has flowers, our beautiful desert bees have visited them and helped spread pollen, which is going to help make more beautiful desert plants. Children, I hope you have a very nice day, and I can't wait to share story time with you again very soon. I think our next story is going to be about pets. Did you see, or did your parents share, or your family share with you Mr. Lopez's post on Facebook about pets and teaching your pet a trick? Now, I have a problem. I don't have a puppy. I have a kitty. I wonder if I could teach my kitty a trick. Do you think I could? Do you think you could teach your puppy or your kitty a trick? It might be fun. And then we could share about it when we have our next story time. So I'll be talking to you soon, and I hope you stay very safe and have a wonderful day. And don't forget, be like the bees and drink lots of water today. Have a wonderful day, children, and I'll talk to you soon.